So if you're an English person and you say milieu, then people assume that you're being like ironically pretentious and like artiste, but Tellier Desjardins was actually French and speaking French, so that's not what's going on here. Okay, some new subscribers lately giving words of encouragement. I try to block those out as much as the words of criticism. Coming from kind of a Buddhist position, I don't want to be influenced by either praise or condemnation. See, because when the episodes are good, it's when there's a natural free-flowing thing happening, which happens in a vacuum. It doesn't happen as a result of praise or condemnation, criticism or praise. I mean, I appreciate it on an ego level, which is the problem. I have to push that out. We had a little bit of Pymander earlier. Let's do a little more. Bring in the Flynn. Let's talk about the demon that enjoys happiness a little.
As he dwells in this purity, his mind is tranquil and at ease. Suddenly a feeling of boundless joy wells up in him. There is such bliss in his mind that he cannot contain it. This is called experiencing lightness and ease, but lacking the wisdom to control it. If he understands, then there is no error. This experience does not indicate sagehood. But if he considers himself a sage, then a demon that likes happiness will enter his mind. As soon as he sees someone, he will laugh. He will sing and dance in the streets. He will say that he has already obtained unobstructed liberation. Lacking proper samadhi, he will certainly fall.
With God against evil. And that sound means we're going to start the 14 stations of the cross. So somewhere on the screen you're seeing Jesus ad mortem condemnatur, the first station of the cross. And every 2 minutes we're going to go, it's going to be another one, and the music's going to change. So hopefully that'll keep this a little more interesting than a usual Tellier Desjardins episode of Chicken Philosophy. One is a person who's getting to a point in life where they're starting to think about death and mortality. And they don't like the idea, for example, of having a relatively short life, and they would rather have a long life. So instead of enjoying that cheeseburger and vanilla shake, they opt for intermittent fasting or a salad or whatever, and water, because they're seeking the pleasure of a long life. They're recoiling from the pain of the fear of death. So what's the fucking difference other than the fact that they've learned to seek pleasure and recoil from pain on a bigger scale? July 25th. Edward, is there a saint or perhaps more than one saint whose feast day is today, July 25th, and who you can put on the screen somewhere so they can join us for the recital? All right. Well, there's Saint James the Greater, also known as the Apostle James. He was, of course, one of the 12 apostles or disciples of Jesus. And then about 1,400 years later, when the Catholics were kicking out all the civilized people from what became known as Spain, they dreamed up the idea. I mean, according to local folklore, St. James, the apostle, came back and rode on a horse and fought the Moors with the Catholics and helped to secure Spain for the Roman Catholic Church. And so the depiction of him on the horse is the one we're going to use today.
Network 23.
We don't always do the max headroom when 23 is mentioned here on Chicken Philosophy. But we do sometimes. I know I think people who are, and now I'm what you call a Xennial, on the border, mostly Gen X. I mean, I identify as Gen X. 1978, that's objectively Gen X, but it's also objectively like the very tail end of Gen X. So when you're kind of like end of Gen X, beginning of millennial, they call that a Xennial. So I think people who are proper millennials will tend to think of that Jim Carrey horror movie where he had shit written all over his body when they hear 23. But I, in the Gen Xiness of me, think of Max Headroom. So today is going to be, oh, by the way, happy Ganesh Chaturthi. And sorry for my pronunciation. Editor Edward, can we get a close-up of these three, please? Thank you. Believe it or not, those aren't my only Ganeshas. There's two more. They're over there. Jesus planting the seeds of communism, and using the Roman infrastructure of the empire as kind of a plow, or I guess technically a seed drill to get it all out there. And we can get rid of the communist flag. I know that's rubbing some people the wrong way, but optional. Let's say socialism. It's democratic socialism. It does make it a little more digestible. And today I'll be picking up right where Frater BT left off last time. Hey, Pymander, can you not do that when I'm in the middle of a recital? This is Jesus talking, right? But it's heresy Jesus, so it's okay. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'll just... or maybe you think that the Father is a lover of humanity. Well, if you ask Hafiz, the Sufis, yeah, they interpenetrate, you might say. He's into their feet, too. From the word, quote, father, end quote, it follows that there's a, quote, son, end quote, full stop. Or daughter, obviously, right? Is son gender neutral in this case? No, we're talking about God the Father and Jesus the Son. There's no sister. We're not going that far out. This is just Gnosticism. It's just the heretical scriptures of Nag Hammadi. This isn't your local neighborhood channeled UFO thing. There's a spectrum. Have you heard? Spectrum. So Tao Malachi has put forth this idea of outer teachings of Christianity and inner teachings of Christianity, with Protestantism and Orthodoxy and Catholicism being outer forms and Gnosticism being inner forms. I question that false dichotomy. Because in one breath you're saying that this outer form didn't exist before the orthodoxy was put together. And in the previous paragraph you were saying Gnosticism was something kind of not related to Christianity, but then there was a Christian form of it. So, I don't know. I don't think it's as simple as inner and outer forms of Christianity. Into that which he wishes, in order that those being in bracket parentheses, who have gone forth from him may be as well. Okay, so far we're talking about giving birth, and the process by which birth is given involves the Father spreading something. We've all seen that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, right? Yeah. The Father spreading gives birth. Nothing cut, nothing divided, no umbilical cord. It's just the Father by himself. The divine emission, Ptah style. Let's ask the angels. What is it? Is it? Yes. Oh, the angel confirmed. We're one of the secret societies. Are we the only one? Yes. Oh my God! What's that? Does that mean we have some great destiny on Earth? Yes. What are we supposed to do? oh shit, we're getting instructions from the Ouija board on how to live our life. And, that's how it goes. It's just the way it is. Taking the list of the 27 accepted scriptures that made it into the New Testament. But I guess there's an impulse to side with whoever is trying to bring down the Roman Empire. I still maintain that, there is a baby in the bathwater of Orthodox Christianity, and I've yet to find a baby in the bathwater of the Nag Hammadi, and admittedly, it is and was a good point that you made in that previous episode of Carl Jung, that, you could consider Gnostic heresy, by somebody's definition, to be a living tradition that has existed for hundreds of years, and that people such as Carl Jung have added to. Right. If we aren't hung up on the idea of lineage or the idea of something needing to go all the way back to, something 2,000 years ago, and it is kind of annoying when people insist that they have a lineage that goes back, an unbroken chain that goes back 2,000 years, just as annoying as when people do that in various forms of Buddhism or whatever. Either in philosophy, medicine, rhetoric, music, or mechanics. But these are all opinions and theories. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, it sounds like now. No. Now there's a consensus of people who have, done this beautiful, miraculous thing and developed the eighth miracle of the universe itself, which is shared knowledge through over the generations and out into the masses. And they've developed the scientific method, and they've developed this whole massive libraries of continually updated and updatable present time general consensus about the nature of so many things, going out to the edges, going out to the little blurry red dots that you can only see if you have a super telescope in space. And then there's these idiots on the other side. They're like, nah, the world's flat. So it's not that nobody can agree. So if you're thinking, hey, is this prophetic? This sounds like now. No, I disagree. I think that it's not the same thing. If you had 8 billion people and each of them had their own opinion about whether the Earth went around Jupiter or not, that might be different. But it seems like, I don't know. I mean, but then again, there are subtleties. For example, a person may very well be coming from the first group, the consensus reality group, and look at a person like me and think, that guy's insane. Why is he interested in these subjects? And also, why is he for different people? And a number of other things about how I dress or what I say, So yeah, maybe I'm in between. Let's put up the spectrum. Somewhere on the one spectrum. No. A, there's no spectrum. B, there's more than one spectrum. C, there's only a spectrum if you're on the spectrum. I mean, that particular spectrum, not any particular commonly used in 2025 speech spectrum. I'm not saying anybody's autistic or not autistic, is what I'm saying. There are other spectrums besides that one. Amen. I just finished reading the Tripartite Tractate, guys. I don't know how long it's been since we started reading the Tripartite Tractate. Editor Edward, would you pull up a clip of when we started reading the Tripartite Tractate and put the date on the screen at the same time? The Tripartite Tractate. Say that 10 times fast. Okay, so now put today's date, because people might be in the future, and now put the amount of time between beginning the Tripartite Tractate and ending it right now at approximately 1 p.m. By me, in this case, I mean all of us. Okay, hey Gwydion. Oh, hey Edward, what's up? Is it okay if I play that little short I made about my books? Sure, go for it. All right, let's roll it. This is what it would look like to have one of each of my books on my bookshelf. I mean, what it looks like isn't all that impressive. Is that meant to imply that that's what it sounds like? Yeah. So Aleph is air, or the fool, and Lamed is Libra, which is justice. But here's the fun part: the name of the letter Lamed means ox goad, and the name of the letter Aleph means ox. So you start with an ox, then you have an ox goad. That's Allah. You know, or El. Jesus said, quote, "You cannot enter a house of the strong and take it by force without tying the person's hands. Then you can loot the person's house," end quote. Why are you giving people this kind of advice, Jesus? Moreover, the appearance of the Portuguese in the 16th century, try 15th century, saw any surviving church records and tradition vanish, as Roman Catholic authority was deemed paramount over potential Indian heterodoxy. Fucking Roman Catholics. I mean, Roman Catholicism of the 16th century and late 15th century. Just the last 10 minutes of the 15th century. I'm being picky. Right. Whatever documentation existed about their episcopal affairs also vanished with the persecution of the Eastern Church under the Tamerlane. So that lends credibility back when it's, well, there was documentation, but then the Roman Catholic Church came and it's like, say no more. They burned everything, right? Yeah, they always burn everything. And then the Mughal emperors. You got the Mughal emperors and the Roman Catholic Church. Of course there's no record left. They literally burned everything. Tortured people to reveal where they hid the documents and then burned the documents, right? They weren't quite that sophisticated under St. Athanasius, so they were able to hide the Nag Hammadi in a cave. Eusebius reports this event, but says his lot fell to Parthia rather than India. And if you recall, Parthia was the part of India that was ruled by the Greeks after Alexander the Great came, so... tomato, I think, in this case.